I've wanted these two for so long. It hurts. Oh, look at this. It's got the box with it. Whew, okay. Gloomy day. Foggy, a little rainy, but I'm excited. So this is the day before Hoosier Collecticon 2, put on by awesome people that you probably know, Mr. Froggy Flips and Tim Talks Toys. And they invited me to come and check out the show here while they're setting up. This is the day before the show, so we're here for setup. Specifically, I'm here because I actually made a pretty great deal with one of the dealers in here for a big Grail purchase prior to coming out here. And he brought it to the show so that I could pick it up in person and we can check it out. So I'm gonna look around at some of the setup that's going on, but primarily I am here to pick up this Grail piece, something that I've wanted for a very long time. I will say a little hectic getting here today. I always forget, even though this isn't that far of a drive. This is like a 3-hour drive for me from Illinois to Indiana, but I always forget that crossing the border between those two states, there's a time zone change, and I lose an hour coming to Indiana. So I showed up like right at the end of setup. So I have to scurry inside and I don't want to keep anybody waiting. So let's go. That is right. Today I am near Indianapolis, Indiana for Hoosier Collecticon number 2. So I missed out on the first Hoosier Collecticon, and as soon as I saw photos and videos from that event, I knew that I needed to attend this one, especially because it is pretty close to home. This is driving distance for me. And if you're not at all familiar with this show yet, well, this show is put on by the world famous Froggy Flips and the awesome Tim Talks Toys. This is their show. This is their amazing beast of a toy get-together. Man, I am so excited to do some hunting here. But before we get into all of this, I am here a day early because I'm here specifically to pick up a pretty large purchase that I've already made. Before the show even came about, I ended up making a deal with an incredible dealer and one of my favorite Instagram accounts to follow, VHS Crypt, Chris. Got some really amazing Grail type pieces. I've already arranged the deal, everything's been paid for, and he's bringing them to this show so that I can pick them up, which works out great because then I can just drive them back home and no shipping is involved. So come with me as we get a sneak peek at what we're going to see at Hoosier Collecticon 2 and see how I dropped about $800 before the show even began. So this is just setup day and I'm already losing my mind because of some of the stuff that's in here. I mean, I've wanted these two for so long. I have a Don at home where like no wings, it's all broken. But look at all that. This is just an insane amount of rare stuff. Look at all these over here. All the Apollos. There's Invisible Mikey. Metal Mutants Don. Deep Sea Leo. Good grief. It hurts. It hurts because these are highly desired, very expensive TMNT figures that I would love to scoop up if I was able to, but I can't do that right now because I'm already picking up stuff that I've spent a lot of money on. But why don't we go ahead and keep tempting me and you by looking at some of these vendor tables as we make our way over to pick up the goods.
Oh my God, this is incredible. Oh yeah, so I've run into the Lucha Fuertes before, but I love that this is straight up He-Man with a goatee. Look, coming to the ring, power sword tucked into the belt. That's how we get it done. That's amazing.
Who's that?
That is so cool. So, you know, we always see the bounce ride on Battle Cat, which is like, you know, the spring horses, which I have one of those at home, thankfully, and I run into those every now and then. This is one that I don't see very often. This one is meant for like a swing set outside. This is a swinging Battle Cat. That is unreal. Okay. Now this is something incredible. So, obviously in the height of Masters of the Universe, a lot of companies tried to jump on the bandwagon, making stuff that played well with Motu figures. They even tried to capture the look of a Masters of the Universe package here. I mean, like, look at this artwork. And it looks a lot like the attack track. Very similar, but you can see it's wired with a controller to drive it. $11 at Kmart once. This is amazing.
Man, just getting a peek at what these vendors are setting up, I can tell that this is going to be a hot toy show in terms of like the stuff that's here. Like, I'm seeing so many things that could be considered Grail pieces already right here as they're setting up. But that's enough for now. Why don't we go ahead and make our way over to VHS Crip's table so I can show you guys what I bought.
So I packed this as if I was going to ship it almost.
This is what I've been after this whole time, the Ninja Foodie. I'm finally picking it up.
Very rare.
Yeah.
You never see those at toy shows.
Oh. Yeah, this. Oh, I really appreciate all this wrapping. I'm almost afraid to touch it.
I know Chris was really sad to see this one go.
Oh, really?
I don't have it for myself.
Oh, man.
But, you know, you're more man than me to run through and get all the parts for it. I'm like,
I'll at least try to get as many as I can. Just having it is like amazing.
for me, it's like what you're starting with isn't bad. You know what I mean?
For sure.
To be
For sure.
The way that it is. So.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And it has one of the little glow.
If you want to lay it down, because I'm like nervous too.
Little demons on the front. Yeah. This is. I am nervous. So like the deal with this is like, it's made of a very thin kind of fragile plastic. Breaks so easy, which is why this is part of the reason why this is such an obscure piece. Because even like mint and box ones, you don't know if it's broken or not inside the boxes. Like that's how fragile this is. So I have to be very careful transporting this home and figure out where this is going, and then it's gonna stay where it's going. Oh, this is the best. Look at this. Oh, look at this. It's got the box with it.
It's new for your kids.
Laser lights, it's Blackstar!
Defender of right, he's ready to fight. The evil Overlord.
Laser lights,
The Ice Castle is a mysterious place. He might meet the lava lock face to face.
laser lights, it's Blackstar!
From Galoob.
The Blackstar Ice Castle is mine. Oh my goodness. Let me be honest with you guys. This is something that I never thought I would actually acquire. It's been on my list for a long time as something that I would love to own. It was on my Grail list, but it's in the category of like practically unobtainable because this piece has just gotten so expensive over the years. And it's a fragile one, it's a rare one. I just didn't know if I'd ever be able to swing it. But Chris here put it up for sale through his Instagram. And yes, as you'll see as we're looking at it, it is not complete. But what's here was well worth the price that I paid. I can't believe it.
Oh, okay. I need to like, I'm going to lay this down.
It makes me nervous even having this.
Here, like that. Stair pieces for the front.
Here is the back balcony.
It's the balcony. Oh, the balcony.
This lived in a very secure
Little
place
stickers.
in our house until we brought it.
That's what I'm gonna have to do. I'm gonna have to figure out like where this
All
goes.
get into trouble, so I was like on the.
Oh, cats! I got 2 cats too. I'm gonna have to.
You have to count for that.
Yeah. Thankfully, they don't jump around a lot. Look at this. I mean, this. Part of the reason I pulled the trigger on this was because it wasn't just that, but it was like the box too. Like, how often are you really gonna find this thing with like a box in this good a shape with this beautiful artwork? Like, I almost need to figure out wherever this goes, they need to be displayed together, because this is incredible. This is so cool, so cool. This is amazing. I am geeking out right now. This is a great way to start the show. I mean, gosh, this is awesome.
So crazy enough, as if I hadn't already spent enough money on that Blackstar Ice Castle that I dropped about $500, $600 on, I made another deal with Chris for another item that I've been hoping to add to my collection.
So then, I had to put this in a special case,
Jeez. This was the unexpected part of this whole arrangement, because I wasn't planning to like get this and this.
Just cool off from this, and then this hit you right after.
Exactly. So one of the things that's been on my hunt list for a while that I've picked up or looked at several shows is the Remco AWA ring, and I was really just kind of after the regular ring. I just wanted a ring for that line. This is the steel cage version, and it's got all the cage pieces, the ropes. These are like controllers,
figures, yeah.
So you attach the figures to it so you can make them wrestle inside the cage, which is unbelievable. And then look at this. This is probably the piece that is always missing. The padlock is in there for the cage. My youngest is like a big wrestling fan, and he's gonna want to play with this. I'm gonna be like, not this one. Not this one.
Gentlemen, a tag team extravaganza. Let the battle royale begin. Looks like Hawk is about to drop in on the fabulous ones. Uh-oh, the Baron's after the animal. But the animal has other plans. Will you look at this? Rick Martel is throwing Steve Kern right out of the ring. Oh my, and the Hawk has Stan Lane all tied up, and he's mad!
The Battle Royale playset comes complete with 6 figures, referee, and official wrestling ring from Remco.
Oh, this is so cool.
And this is the piece that has the door.
This is amazing. This one's actually made of plastic too. Like have you ever the original one's wood. Have you ever picked up like the original ring?
True American craft.
It's crazy. Yeah. So this one, but I love like the cloth canvas on there. Oh, this is incredible.
So this is Dan's show. All the money that he brought.
This is it. Yep. This is what I got at the show. I can't take anything else home.
Go home now.
Except we just drove all the way here. Time to go all the way back. This is amazing.
We have like a minivan that we brought, and I'm like calculating the remaining space left of how much can fit. So
Oh God, I know that's always part of it, right?
the guy over there has a terradrome for an amazing
The one
deal.
thing we
Like,
knew we weren't taking back, so whatever we buy has to fit in that square footage. Like,
Yeah, we dipped into the other building right before we came over here, and I was already going, oh my God, this is insanity.
Yeah.
There's the guy over there that has like a Battle Cat swing, like for the
Jordan at Triple C.
Yeah,
His
Jordan.
stuff is like-
It's unbelievable. He's always got the coolest stuff. But like I walked in and saw that, and I'm like, because I have the bouncy right on at
I've
home.
seen it at shows at least. I know it's incredibly rare, but the swing.
The
is
swing?
new to
I've
me.
never seen the swing.
Boom! The AWA ring from Remco is coming home with me. And if you guys have been following my hunts, you know that I've been after these. I've picked them up at many shows. I've always wanted to add this to my collection. I don't think I ever even considered that I'd be getting the cage match version. but Chris put this up for sale shortly after I already made the arrangement for the Blackstar Ice Castle, and I couldn't believe it. Like, I really just sat there and I wondered, do I really need to be doing this right now? And I messaged him and just kind of said, hey, if by some chance this doesn't sell and you still have it at Hoosier Collecticon, I would like to buy it. And he just said, no, man, it's yours. I'm bringing it. We've got a deal. I got an amazing price on it. $200 set up. It's complete. It is an amazing centerpiece for that particular collection. So like I said, I dropped about $800 before the show even started. Thank goodness I've been selling off a lot of my old stuff. So at this point, it's time to get out of here for the night. Setup is about done. I've picked up the things that I came here for, and I still got a whole toy show to check out the next day. But as I'm getting ready to leave, one of the other vendors approached me and handed me a gift.
So as I'm getting ready to leave with my Ninja Foodie XL Pro Air Oven, which is actually a Blackstar Castle, I was approached with a Mr. Pixel Dan TMNT gift from this gentleman. Oh, and I autographed your card. Oh, what's your name, man?
Brian.
Brian.
Yes, sir.
And this is for me?
Yes.
Oh my God. Dude, there's so much in here. What? What is this guy?
Roller.
Oh my God. Whoa. I love them. And then there's like a Tila eraser in here too, which is always great. Dude, there is so much incredible stuff in here. Bootleg Mikey. I love that his head's turned all the way around in the package. That's even better. Look at that incredible artwork. Oh my gosh. Birthday plates. Mutations April. Wow, look at all this. A freaking communicator? Dude. Love the Pez dispenser. This is I always just call this one Scare Glow. Like, it just looks like Scare Glow to me. That is incredible. Dude. Donnie Watch. This is amazing. You did not have to do this, man.
Go for it.
Dude, thank you very much, man. I really appreciate this. This is awesome.
What an amazing start to this entire event. And in the next video here on this channel, we're going to get a better look at the full toy show. And I am not done hunting here yet, I promise you. But just to give you a little sneak peek, one of the other vendors who knew that I was picking up this Blackstar Ice Castle from Chris also reached out to me because he had a piece of the castle that Chris didn't, and he brought it for me. So here's a peek at the next day where I pick up that piece.
Awesome.
Any piece is a hard piece to find on that thing.
I know.
Have you found any more, or you just picked it up then?
I just picked up the castle. Yeah, yesterday. So.
Oh yeah, you were here yesterday, weren't you?
Yeah, I popped in last night literally just for that. Like, because he was holding it for me over at the table.
A big fragile piece.
So, I know. Thankfully, I drove, so I'm gonna. He wrapped it up real good, and
oh, nice.
I got to be careful on the way home. Here's 20 for you. Yeah, thank you, man.
I had told him that I had an extra gargoyle too at one point, but I sold that for $40.
Oh, that's unbelievable,
and
right?
We had a box too. So we had a box, that piece, and the gargoyle.
Yeah.
That's all we had.
That's so
and
crazy.
A bunch of busted up plastic.
Busted up plastic. Yeah. Oh man. Well, this is awesome.
Yeah, I noticed.
One more piece. So perfect. It's like just, it was meant to be, right? I guess this piece was waiting here for me. That's so cool.
Man, the show hasn't even officially started, and I have got quite the haul. Let's go! So we'll first start with this gift that was given to me by another dealer by the name of Brian. You guys saw me get this shoebox. I already showed you mostly what was inside, but let's explore it with a little more detail, shall we? So as somebody who loves merchandise for my favorite toy lines, this is pretty sweet. An unopened pack of party plates for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And that's what most of this is Ninja Turtle stuff. So this is an incredible bootleg that was in there. And when he first gave it to me, the head on this was backwards, but I don't know if you can see it. There's actually like a crack in the bubble here. This is like very brittle. But I was able to get my finger in there enough to spin the head back around.
I love the weird artwork on this, so this will definitely stay in package as long as that brittle bubble will hold in place, because I love this. Here's a sweet in-box Mutations April. You can see the box has got quite a bit of wear, but that figure inside is minty mint. Sweet. Here's Rocksteady's Pogo Copter, complete with accessories, which is amazing. You can see all these accessories are here with it too, which is great because this is one that I did not have complete in my collection. Oh yeah, the ninja action figures are so cool. Let's see if I can actually get this Donnie to do what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to do like a cartwheel. Yeah, it's about as good as I can always get him to work. Yeah, good enough. There you go. Good job, Donnie. Here's the bicycle horn, which doesn't really work anymore because it's too... Oh, there we go. This turtle communicator is awesome. The sticker's clean on the front, which I really like. You can see it's missing the little insert thing, which had little cards, which was supposed to be the view screen, but still, this is such a cool role-play toy from the vintage line. Here is a vintage Donatello wristwatch, though it does look like it's kind of deteriorated and fallen apart. The band is broken, but the watch piece is still very cool looking, if my camera will focus on it there. Pez dispenser that looks like Scare Glow. And then these weirdos, I didn't know what they were when I pulled them out of the box at the show, but I knew they looked familiar, so I had to look them up. These are from Toy Biz. It's a toy line called the Bots Master. They are so weird. They got the roller blades, just very crazy looking. They don't look like your typical Toy Biz action figure, but they are so 90s, so rad. I love them. Thank you so much for this incredible gift, dude. And here is the Remco AWA cage match ring, which, oh my gosh, I am so happy to have this. As I mentioned earlier, I just wanted the regular ring for the AWA line from Remco. And if you've been following me on my toy hunts, you know that I've looked at it multiple times and have never pulled the trigger on actually buying it. And now I am glad that I waited because the cage is even cooler. I really love this. I love that it has like an actual cloth apron here, the canvas on the ring. I also love the way they have like, look at the TV broadcast area on this side over here. You got the AWA logos. You've got the judges area on the other side. I mean, this is just a really, really fun toy. On the inside here, just kind of lift this forward so you can see what it looks like on the inside there with the AWA ring logo right in the middle of the ring. You've got the ropes here. Oh, so incredibly cool. And then over on the one side, we do have the opening door, which is great. And one thing that's fantastic is that this has this tiny little padlock here. Maybe we can put it on the door. Oh, there we go, to lock them in. And you know that this is a difficult piece to get for this, is that tiny little padlock there. So it's so incredibly cool. And the other thing that this ring came with, which is so unique, is it had these long wand accessories. And you can see we got both of them here. And the way this would work, you can see there's these slits on all four sides. So you would actually use those slits and then you would hook these around figures to wrestle on the inside. It's crazy. Let me show you. So here we go. Look at this. How amazing in this. Here we go. Baron Von Raschke with the Iron Claw. Oh, I mean, come on. This is really interesting. It's a really kind of creative play feature with this. And just a way to allow kids to like still be able to wrestle around in here with the cage being there so they don't have to reach inside with their hands. I mean, you could still kind of like, look, flip down as if they're falling over, or you can kind of move around like you're running the ropes. I don't know. It's kind of creative. I think that it's really neat. It's kind of fun. It's not something I don't think you would see on today's. It's kind of a silly idea, but again, I think it's creative and fun. And this is just going to be an awesome display piece. It's another thing that I have to find a spot for. But as this is a toy line I've been actively picking up pieces for, I love having this as the centerpiece of the AWA Remco line. And here it is, the biggest grail that I purchased this weekend. This is the Blackstar Ice Castle from Galoob. And honestly, you're probably looking at this and you're realizing that this doesn't look like much, but I assure you, This is a very hard to find playset, especially complete. And this one is missing quite a few pieces. First of all the way up here at the top, there should be kind of like a forked, pointed piece here at the top, double pronged piece, which is the top of the castle. We do have some pieces missing here. I was able to pick up this piece right here. This is the extra piece that I bought, thanks to Matt Berger over at his booth. So that is actually gonna attach right there, just like that, which is awesome. So right here on the top, there should be like a little dragon head that would now clip into these two holes. That's on the top here. Then as you come down, you can see I have one of the demons or the gargoyles. There should be another one that is over on this side, and of course a door here. So I know it looks crazy. It looks like it's missing a lot, but just finding this thing intact is a feat on its own. And the fact that I have some of these pieces that are always missing, like these little gargoyles right here, will sometimes sell for hundreds of dollars by themselves. It's completely insane. Now, I always talk about this castle as being really fragile, and that is the case. First of all, you can see it's unstable. It's a little wobbly. And this castle is made of a pretty thin plastic that unfortunately has just gotten brittle over the years. So you would almost look at this and you would think that this is very similar to something like Castle Grayskull from the Masters of the Universe line, but that playset is a much more solid, heavy, just hefty toy overall. This is lightweight and feels very thin. So it's something that breaks often, and it's exactly why A, it's rare, and B, you have to be really careful with it. So I'm gonna have to figure out a great way to display this where I don't have to worry about that. So you can see I do have the balcony piece on the backside. There are some cardboard inserts that should be in here, plus some other little accessories as well. So the back is pretty bare, but honestly, I will be displaying this frontwards wherever I find to put this. I gotta find a great spot for this, and I definitely want to display it with the box as well, which we should look at that real quick. This box is amazing. First of all, it's just a fantastic example of how cool the packaging was back in the 80s. Look at this beautiful painted artwork of these characters, of this castle, right here on the front of the box. Also, gotta love that super savings sticker on there. I love that. So getting the box with this was a big selling point for me, just because I love this artwork, and as hard to find as this castle already is, like, how often do you see it with the box and a box that's in this solid of shape? It's really, really nice. So I wanted to show you the back here. It's very similar, again, like old Masters of the Universe boxes where the back is just, you know, black and white, or in this case, blue and white outlines, illustrations of the toy, but it kind of breaks down all of the parts that's in here. So I can show you some of those things I was talking about. Like you can see, this is that dragon head that would go on the front there. You can see there would also be a, what they're calling a working dart gun. So there's like a cannon that would go on there. There's a throne and a weapons rack that I don't have. And then you've got like these cardboard inserts. So you can see up here, this little piece that would go on the inside. You can see this monitor, like this computer monitor right here. Those would be the cardboard inserts that would go on the inside, and I would have to imagine that those are gonna be pretty hard to get. And then this is that forked piece I was talking about that's missing from the top of the castle. So, yes, the castle I have is pretty incomplete, but having it makes me incredibly happy. Having it with this box is awesome. I think this is going to make for a beautiful display piece. And, you know, I guess this just kind of makes the hunt a little more fun and a little more prolonged. I don't know how possible it's going to be to get the pieces to complete this thing, but it could be a fun journey, and you never know. I might be able to get some parts to make this complete, or at least get some of those key pieces. Like I would definitely love to get the top of the castle piece up here, and maybe the dragon head and the other gargoyle for the front, just to make it look a little bit more complete from the front. But I am so happy to have this. So shout out again to my friend Chris at VHS Crypt for the amazing deals.
Thank you guys so very much for joining me for another installment of Toy Hunting with Pixel Dan. My gosh, this weekend, Hoosier Collecticon, let me tell you, it was just such an amazing event. And I hope you guys will be back next week for the follow-up video where we can get a full look at the actual show floor, because what Froggy and Tim put together here is something really special. Like, this is a true toy collector's toy show as far as like the stuff and the quality of the items that these vendors brought to this show. It's dangerous for your wallet, let me tell you, but it's awesome. Thank you guys for continuing to watch every single week. I really appreciate it. Major shout out to all of my supporters over on Patreon. You guys are amazing. Until next time, happy hunting, my friends.